framing correctly?
Yeah. I can.
Yeah.
Yours is good. I like it.
This is
Yes.
what our angle is like.
Oh, so you don't see me. So move it up a little bit higher.
So you want to show you.
Yeah.
This is our angle now.
Oh, cool. Yeah. And are we able to move that up? I mean, lift it up a little bit.
Yeah.
So my knees are not.
Fit.
Is there like a bump? Oh no, the whole bed itself.
I don't see a pump for that.
Oh yeah, it's a step pedal. Would you just step on it?
You want me to move?
No. It's gonna.
I'm trying. Yeah, I'm trying.
Probably.
Okay, let's take a look.
I know, but you're so sorry that I
It doesn't hit my egg.
Okay, dear.
Alright, cool. Is that good enough?
Let me just say, I feel like you're evil. I
Look.
feel like
I wonder if it's too loud.
it might be a little bit loud.
But it's okay, it
Yeah.
works. The last time I did I was a live stream on YouTube, my YouTube channel, but the sound is good. It's perfect. Yeah.
You like it?
The microphones are really sensitive.
We have some.
Yeah.
It's just a little. I don't know how it works online. Like in for,
And on Instagram,
yeah.
I didn't know because I do live on YouTube. I don't know how it works on Instagram.
It's like the clip-on. It would just basically.
Let's have you lift your
clip
microphone.
on.
Okay.
One more. Lift it. Yeah, perfect.
I know it works for like making a video to hear it back, but I don't know if like on live they hear it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are we ready?
I'm ready when you are.
Do I need to talk?
Yeah, I'm gonna start it. Okay,
Yeah.
I'll introduce myself when I hear my voice. And then I'll introduce what's happening, and then you can just introduce yourself. Alright, I'm gonna click left. 3, 2, 1.
Alright. So we're live today. Okay, so hopefully you guys can hear us. Hello everyone. So we're doing a lot of live feed today. We're going to be doing a chemical peel with Crystal today.
Yes.
We're doing a medium
It's
depth
me.
chemical peel. Yeah. So are you ready? Are you
I'm
feeling
ready.
good?
I'm ready.
Okay, it's going to be a little bit spicy. We're going to have a couple of waters, cold water to alleviate some of that pain. But we're going to be doing Jessner's, just like last time. Jessner's with the TCA. So we're going to go to some of those steps as we move along, okay? At about 5 minutes, just remove some of that water in this spray from the freezer. Alright, so Crystal already cleaned her face, so we're just gonna be degreasing the face, removing a little bit more of that excess oil before we get started. And this is also isopropyl alcohol. If you guys are tuning in, we're doing a chemical peel today with Crystal. Are you feeling Crystal?
Okay, man.
So today we're doing a medical grade chemical peel. This is our NP Carl.
Oh yeah, by the way, I'm Carl. I'm the nurse practitioner here at Gardenia. We're definitely going to be doing some chemical pills today, and hopefully you guys can learn a little bit about it. It's been about 2 minutes to dry that off.
guys. Welcome to the live. We're doing the medical review. If you have any questions, you can leave them down on the comments below. Or if you have any questions for our nurse practitioner Carl, meanwhile the timer's going down, let us know.
So while we're waiting for about 2 minutes right now, we're just gonna be protecting Crystal's eyes with a little bit of that Vaseline. The corners of the eyes, above the eyes.
Someone asked, for the medium depth, what is the downtime?
It's gonna be about, there's gonna be a lot more redness involved, so about 3 to 5 days when the redness really subsides, and then you'll see a lot of that tightness and the peeling will start to come on. About 3 to 5 days, all the way for another week, maybe 2 weeks with a little bit of that peeling, still residual peeling that's still lingering for the next 2 weeks, and that redness can still be there 2 more or additional 2 more weeks. Very good question.
Let us know if you guys can hear us or if we should adjust volume.
So right now we're just protecting the eyes, the nose, and the mouth with a Vaseline to protect any of these chemical peels from destroying the skin around these areas.
In other words, the surface is usually a week and the medium depth about 2.
So Crystal, we're gonna start off with the Jessner's peel. We're gonna do a couple of layers of passes of the Jessner's peel, okay? So right now you shouldn't feel anything, maybe a slight tingling start on the forehead. We're just really rubbing it in here to get a really good coating. Oh yeah. While I'm doing this, you can rub me down. Put it on the fridge.
So right now, Carl's doing his layer, gently coating the skin, feathering the jawline.
Alright, we just finished our first pass. We're gonna be spending about 3 minutes, 2.5 minutes, until it gets neutralized. We don't really need to do anything much, except to wait until it gets neutralized. How are you feeling, Crystal? Do you feel any of that tingling sensation
Just
around
down there,
it?
just like this area.
On that area?
Yeah.
So we're gonna have, okay. So we're gonna hand Crystal this nice, handy dandy, very, very cold air to help with that tingling sensation.
And spray is in the fridge.
So there's a lot of downtime in between these layers because we need to get that layers in. But it requires a lot of space, a lot of time for it to really subside. You don't want to overdo them because it will just ruin the skin. You want it to have that layer, that first pass, and then let it neutralize, do its thing, and then before we get to do another another pass. Okay, so we'll do about 3 to 4 of these passes.
If you guys have more questions, let us know. Nurse practitioner Cora is more than happy to answer.
So you might not see the lighting, see the actual skin because of the lighting, but what we're going for is this light frosting and a little bit of that erythema, a little bit of that redness. Before we get to the TPA, we're going to be combining 2 chemical peels. Typically, we only do one or the other, but this one is going to be a little bit more in depth, a lot more of the medium grade, medium depth chemical peels when you combine these 2. Out of all the chemical peels, these 2 are the ones that are really, that works together.
Everyone new, welcome to Alive. We're doing a medical grade chemical peel.
So we have 50 more seconds. That sensation must have been good already, right?
Mm-hmm.
Removing some of that excess. Welcome everyone. Thanks for joining us. We're doing a chemical peel today. So we'll do another one. That's our second pass. We're going to do another 2.5 minutes here. As we go through that process, Crystal, you're going to feel a little bit more of that intensity building up. Okay?
This, because, this is the like, sensitive area for me.
Okay.
But it's okay.
We'll keep an eye on that. Especially with your the discoloration that you have
Mhm.
with your.
Yeah.
So as long as we're not overdoing it, then and you're still tolerating the procedure, we can still keep going. So about 2 more minutes. And we're also checking to make sure that skin is tolerating well. Just because you've done it last time, you've done it before, doesn't mean that you're able to tolerate exactly the same way last time. You might be able to tolerate more today, you might not be able to tolerate the same way as last time. So we're gonna keep an eye on it, making sure that we're not overdoing it and injuring the skin unintentionally. I think your life is, there's a couple of people asking, can't really
Yes.
see it.
There's a lot of people there.
Yeah. So it's
A lot of people in my life.
yeah, pretty impressive.
Some of the people, they speak English. It's English, some speak Spanish.
Oh, very nice. I'm pretty sure they're asking a couple of questions. I'll let Kat answer some of them. I'll have her scroll and see if we can relay some of that information to you.
Okay.
About 40 more seconds.
Ok. Esta es la segunda aplicación, chicos, que tengo del del químico que me ponen, más o menos hay un espacio como de 2 minutos y medio entre un químico y el otro para que no se dañe la piel. Él está chequeando eventualmente cómo va en las partes más sensibles de mi cara. En esta parte de acá abajo que es mucho más sensible y una mancha que tengo del lado derecho. Entonces está chequeando a ver cómo mi piel va tolerando el químico que me va poniendo. Y puede ser que tolere hoy más aplicaciones o menos aplicaciones de la última vez. Esta cosita aquí es el aire frío y esto si siento como mucha comezón, mucha picazón, me lo pongo en el sala para que me refresque un poco.
Ready for your third layer?
Yes.
Just finished our third pass. We're going to do another 2 minutes here, 2 minutes and a half.
Entonces terminó la tercera aplicación y vamos a esperar 2 minutos o 2 minutos y medio, dependiendo cómo la piel vaya tolerando el químico.
Light reaction, adjust to 12 you want.
Hormone reaction.
Yeah, the skin is starting to change. It could be a lighting, but definitely a little bit different than the first, before we even started. This is exactly what's been happening. This is the reaction that you've been getting from the last few sessions. How's the pain? How's the discomfort?
It's okay.
So far, so good.
So far, so really good.
We're almost halfway there, so we're not at the PCA feel yet, but that gets pretty intense. So right now we're only in the third, about 3 of the 4 passes that we're trying to achieve.
Dice que está bien la tercera aplicación, que la piel está tornándose bien, que es lo que se quiere para venir, que la piel se torna diferente y va asimilando el químico. Y ojalá que logre tener 4 o 5 más. Llegar a la cuarta o quinta exposición del químico.
A lot of waiting here, but that's the most important thing, right? With 2-3 minutes in between passes is important.
Creo que es importante que sean 2 o 3 minutos de pausa entre un químico y el otro, en una aplicación y la otra. Es importante que se le dé chance a la piel para que absorba el químico. Por eso se hacen esas pausas de 2 minutos o a veces 3. Pero ahorita me siento bien, o sea, no siento ningún malestar.
The fourth one.
damper y van a hacer como 2 o 2 minutos y medio de pausa para que la piel absorba el tiro.
What we're looking for is a little bit of that redness, a little bit of that light frosting. That's normally coming from the one part of the gesture field called the salicylic acid. When it gets oxidized, it normally gets a little bit of that frosting. Normally considered as a fake frosting because it's not the skin itself that's getting frosted. It's the oxidation that's causing it to have this light whitening frosting. About a minute and a half. How are you feeling?
I'm pretty safe.
That pain is subsiding, that intensity is not as intense. It's still kind of lingering. A little bit of lingering, kind of. But it's not getting worse, right?
No.
Okay, very good. Now I would say if you're not able to tolerate the discomfort, the tenderness, then we do have a lot of different types of chemical peel where you don't even need to peel as much. You can get that rejuvenation with a little of that redness, and sometimes you don't even get the peel. Okay. Sometimes you have light redness, pinkish redness, a little bit of flush just to rejuvenate the skin. It doesn't always have to be the strong ones all the time. You can change it up depending on the weather, how your skin is doing. You can change it up with facial. There's so many different ways to approach it. Alright, so we're going to be switching off to a PPA that is 20%. It can go pretty intense as well, so here we go. You can start to feel that tightness coming in, a little bit of that tenderness, a little bit of that spiciness. That left side is already tender to begin with, and it's just gonna get more tender and more spicy. How are you doing right now?
Good.
Do you feel the intensity?
Yeah, but not a lot.
Not a lot. No. You're perfect. I'll do another 2.5 minutes. So what we're trying to go for here is that true frosting. We're trying to denature the skin itself so that it forces it to dry up, and eventually, ultimately, it's going to have that healing process. That's not going to happen in about 5 days. Okay. But we want an even coating, an even layer of that whiteness, of that frosting effect. Some are going to get more frosted than others, and that's exactly what we want. And some of the areas that are going to be really frosted, in the next couple of days is when the skin starts to dry out. That frosting will start to get, this color is going to start bronzing, it's going to start to turn darker, and then we have to trust the process and get that healing started. And sometimes that redness can still be there even after the peeling has been 90% completed. You can still have it in the next couple of weeks. And some people, they don't have that. This is one of the reasons why a lot of these chemical peels can be done in 3 weeks, in 2 weeks or 4 weeks. It really depends on the person, but for the most part, you can definitely go back to back, trying to force that skin to peel after it has finished peeling. Trying to get that discoloration, trying to improve that texture. Some textures need a lot more improvement, a lot more treatment because of how hard they are and how thick they can be. Every person's a little bit different. Half a minute more.
Okay.
Not a lot of changes yet, but there's just only one. And this one can go for multiple passes. But every single pass requires a 2 to 3 minute downtime. Start it again. I haven't seen the questions yet or any kind of feedback. Anyone asking questions, I don't know that.
If you guys have any questions, comment down below. Nurse practitioner Carl, will be more than happy to answer.
And if you could help me, so no one's asking questions, right? Okay, so I'm wondering if you could scroll to the other live feed and see what questions they might have. And we could and just relay that information to Crystal.
You can read Spanish?
Yeah.
Ah, cool. I didn't know that.
Yes, multiple hidden talents.
Yes.
These are great assets.
I don't see what's always with English.
It's my
Saying
life
that you're
changer.
going to your.
What are they saying? Because you can't really read it.
She's just saying like she's doing her 4th treatment, like the last one.
What were you asking?
This is the number 5?
Yeah, I know it's the last one. I think it's your 4th one or the 5th one.
Hola, mi nombre es Kat de Gardenia Aesthetics.
I see some thumbs up. Yeah, I see that one. About 1 more minute. So the goal here is to really get that frosting, that change in the skin color. We'll be able to achieve that one with the PCA more so than the definite. The definite's there to prepare your skin from better absorbing the PCA. It's gonna be a lot more effective, a lot more efficient at denaturing or deproteinize the skin. No one's asking questions, right? Are they just watching?
Let us know if you guys have any questions.
Chicos, si tienen alguna pregunta la pueden hacer, porque ahorita que estamos aquí, Carl puede contestar las preguntas que ustedes normalmente me hacen sobre el peeling. Entonces, como yo no les puedo leer, la chica que es la asistente de Carl está leyendo los comentarios. Si usted tiene alguna pregunta, la pueden hacer ahorita para que Carl las pueda responder.
Si see a bit of that frosting of these here. Did you see it on the camera?
Like if it picks up a little bit.
We're gonna be able to pick up a lot more. Yeah. You'll eventually see it, so we don't need to go too crazy right now. But that's pretty much what the end goal here is to achieve that wide discoloration. Sometimes it takes a little bit longer. Let's repeat that process again. What time did you start? 11:30 or 11?
We like around 11.
Okay.
Let us know which questions you guys
It's
have.
not spicy. It's getting spicy,
Yes.
huh?
It's getting spicy.
And the chemical seal is known
You
to be
feel
a
it
little
tight?
spicy. That
Do you
is
feel
like,
it being tighter?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So at this part, I'm not gonna be surprised that Crystal's feeling that spiciness. That's why we needed the cold air, blowing really cold air to alleviate that spiciness, that little bit of tenderness as the skin starts to break down because of the chemical peel. We're gonna feel a lot of that sensation, and it'll just get intense as we add more and more layers. But the ones that are white after about 2 minutes, some areas are gonna be frosted. We're gonna bypass some of that area and focus more on the areas that don't have the frosting. And this time, I can still see a lot of areas that's not frosted. And a couple of things that you guys can do prior to doing any kind of chemical peels, facials, a lot more of these invasive treatments like chemical peels and laser treatments and microneedling is that about 4 weeks you want to start that hydroquinone process so that you can reduce the risk of any kind of deep hyperpigmentation. Hyperpigmentation can happen regardless of what treatment. Some have a higher risk than others. For example, laser treatments have a higher risk for hyperpigmentation, but that can happen still with any kind of injuries. When you receive scars from any kind of injuries, it can cause you to have hyperpigmentation. A lot of these dark skin changes, right? So we want to make sure that we're prepping ourselves and making sure that we're preparing our skin for these kind of invasive treatments. So hydroquinone, staying away from retinol, very aggressive creams like retinols in about 1 week prior to the treatment, making sure that you're staying hydrated, planning out your times for your downtime, knowing that you're going to be swollen, you're going to be red, you're going to be healing for the next couple of days to weeks. You want to make sure that you're taking a look at how do you preserve your skin without being in the sun too long. And of course, you want to make sure that you're putting a lot of sunscreen. Every 2-3 hours, just putting one sunscreen, applying one sunscreen or one application of sunscreen in the morning together with your normal daily routine is not going to be good enough to protect you from the UV damages that you're going to be accumulating for the rest of the day. Alright, so we're going to be doing another layer.
Let us know if you guys have any questions.
At this point, you have to listen to the patient to see if they're able to tolerate more passes, or is this, we're getting to the end game. so let's do another pass.
We are doing a medical grade chemical. Oil is currently going into the lid.
It's gonna get spicy.
Yes.
Might be able to do 2 more.
Hola, estamos ubicados en Archibald Avenue, 7184 Archibald Avenue, Rancho Cucamonga.
Guys, would you be able to grab me my spray and the full towels? You're doing really well, Crystal.
Oh, no. I can tolerate it all of it. I'm not sure.
You have 1.5 more minutes, okay? Let's take a look. After
Okay.
1.5 minutes, if you're not able to tolerate it, we're not going to be forcing it. We also have to consider the pain tolerance, even though the skin is able to. This is kind of great. Even though the skin is able to tolerate additional layers and additional facets, if the person is not able to do it, then you have to listen to the person. Okay? Now, it goes the same way the other around. So if the patient is able to tolerate, at some point the skin is not going to be able to tolerate more, so we have to stop. And that's where you need a doctor or nurse to evaluate whether you need to do more passes or not. If the skin's not able to tolerate it, if the person's not able to tolerate it, we have to stop. Right? So what do you think? We have about
No, disculpe, solamente tenemos una clínica en Rancho Cucamonga. Número de teléfono 909-476-0048. And Instagram is Gardenia Aesthetics.
aesthetics with an AE aesthetics, because sometimes aesthetics is ESPH. So what do you think? You want to do one more layer and see how that works?
Okay, let's do it the last one.
Okay, let's do the last.
Let's do the last one.
Alright.
It's gonna be 8
Gardenia
layers.
Aesthetics.
I think it's gonna be 8.
8? Yeah, this is going to be your 4th one. Alright, here we go.
Let us know if you guys have any questions.
Chicos, creo que estamos en la última, en la 8. Sí está muy picante, arde mucho. Mucho, mucho.
What layer are we on?
We finished 4 layers of the Dessners, and we just did a 4th layer of 4th pass of PCA. And typically about 4th and 5th is where we see a lot more frosting. Crystal has already done multiple treatments already, so that kind of frosting is probably not going to be as intense as other people's frostings. But yeah, typically about fourth is when you start seeing that nice layer of frosting. Now we might not be able to achieve a good frosting all throughout, but you can definitely see, you can definitely take a look at, here's a good frosting, and the frostings that are developing right here, it's a good protein being broken down.
And why do we want frosting?
Because that's what's gonna dry up, it's gonna bronze up, dry up, bronze up, and that's what's gonna be peeling. And the peeling is not gonna be a small layer. That's when the issues that we don't want, like dark, the hyperpigmentation, that's the one that you want to try to remove. So we want that to be frosted. But of course, you don't need the frosting by itself to peel. You can still peel without the frosting, but we're looking for end goals here. So the end goal would be really good results from the frosting.
Welcome everybody new. If you guys have any questions, comment them down below, and our NP Carl will be happy to answer. We're doing a medical grade.
Medium depth. 15 more seconds. And you're going to be spraying a little bit of that nice gold in there. You do it too early and you're neutralizing the chemical peel way too early, and it's not going to get the effects that we want. A little bit, so just keep your eyes closed.
Hola, estamos ubicados en Rancho Cucamonga,
So this is just cold air.
Gardenia Aesthetics.
It's really more for the pain and the discomfort, not so much on the naturalizing the chemical peel, I mean the chemical.
Someone asked, what is recommended for first time chemical peel?
I'll start with something small and something light until you're able to tolerate the higher ones. You don't always want to start on the higher end. You want your skin to, for all you know, the lighter, more superficial chemical peel might be too much for you, and it's still considered to be medium depth. So start with something light once a month, and then you build that tolerance up.
Gardenia Aesthetics, ubicados en Rancho Cucamonga, 7184 Archibald Avenue.
Ay, y vosotros cositas las frías que me ponen es una maravilla, se siente súper refrescante.
Where the frostings are, that's typically where the pain is at.
Let us know if you guys have any questions.
So pretty much at 95% completion, we're not doing anything crazier. It's really just trying to get that intensity out. We're just putting some nice cold water. Also need some of that at this point.
Hi everyone new, welcome to the live. doing a medium depth medical grade surgical scan. Any questions you have, you can lay them down in the comments. Someone is asking on her live, is this more effective than doing like a laser treatment?
It depends on the hyperpigmentation, but the chemical peel is tried and true. It's been there already for decades, more so than lasers.
Está recomendando para hacer chemical peel para la pigmentación.
Does it feel good, Crystal?
Good, it's so good. So good. Seriously.
This is the best part of this treatment.
After that,
Right now it's just kind of like a cool down process, guys. To do some relief on the skin.
Yeah, we're gonna try to avoid any kind of mask. The mask has a lot of different kind of serums in there that will hydrate the skin. So you're still gonna be healing, but you might not be able to see it as much. You can choose to put mask, I think after about 24 hours, but 24 to 48 hours. For the most part, you don't want to put any mask in that beginning process. It's just gonna also irritate the skin. You want to simplify it and getting it as cold as possible. Don't need to put any aloe vera on it. You want to make sure that you're putting Vaseline to keep that moisture packed in for the next couple of days. As that skin starts to really dry up, the skin's going to get tightened, that swelling starts to subside, you're going to lose a lot of moisture on your skin. We want the healing, but we don't want to lose a lot of that moisture. So Vaseline is a big key. And Vaseline in the morning is not going to cut it. That Vaseline needs to be layered on so that you're not losing that moisture. Once that Vaseline has dried up or has been removed, you want to apply another layer of Vaseline. Skin feels warm, you're probably going to feel a lot more drier. And what we're going to do is that we're going to just dry you up and then have to put some Vaseline. We're just going to keep it. So this one is going to be really raw. So even the rough edges of gauze and paper towel is going to be really, really irritating. Vaseline can help. But you can put some cold compress at home just to alleviate that issue, the discomfort. And you want to stay really hydrated for the next couple of days. Okay?
Hi, welcome everyone new.
Well,
Any questions? Let us know.
every
Just comment
movement
down any questions.
my hand on. But you know that it's working really well because it feels a lot smoother once the healing process is done. And we're gonna give you some ice packs once we get home also, okay? And just keep using the Vaseline. Now we also have some post-treatment skincare that under Jean Marie that you can utilize is primarily the same concept, except it has a lot more other additives to it that helps um, mitigate some of the complications, reduces it, but for simplification, a good Vaseline helps, and you want to moisturize an SPF and sunscreen after about 24 hours. Okay? So, other than that, I think we pretty much are done. This. And hopefully I'll see you guys soon, okay?
Alright, if you guys have any more questions, you can send us a DM
Oh, I
here
feel
on
so good.
Instagram. Alright, bye guys.
Bye everyone. Have a good day. Take time to relax. You have nothing on time. But you did good.
I think so.
You did not
What's 8 layers? I
yeah.
did 8.
Last time you did 9. You did a fifth
You think
one
so?
on your TTA. And then like 9.5, because after the 9th layer we added just one more on
Yes,
touch-ups.
I think, yeah.
There's really like about 9 and touch-ups. Here we did a good 8 treatments, so you tolerated more last time than you did
Than today.
this time. And it's possibly because of the change of weather, how hydrated you are. There's a lot of things that comes between the last time and today. There's a lot of days, a lot of things can happen.
Okay.
But
Chicos, miren las trastadas que me hice. ¿Cómo están, mis amores? ¿Cómo les va?
I'm gonna step out. You can enjoy it here for now, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Thank you for joining us.
Let's go, say bye. Thank you. Miren lo que me hice. Aquí no hay mucha luz. Pero, chicos, estuvo... ¡Uy! Él dice que hice 9 la vez pasada, pero no hice 9. Yo pienso que la vez pasada hice menos que esta vez. Pero bueno. Ay, mi Rich, ¿cómo estás? Sí, le pueden preguntar eso en el Instagram a Carl, que él es el... Ay, ¿cómo se dice? Nurse practitioner. No sé cómo se dice en español, la verdad. Chicas, les recomiendo hacerse eso. Y para los hombres también, que quieran hacérselo, de veras, en serio, deben hacérselo. O si realmente tienen como muchas cosas en su cara. Por ejemplo, yo que siempre les he comentado que tuve un acné, pero yo tuve un acné severo. Hoy en día hay como más medicamentos, hay jabones, hay cremas, porque yo me recuerdo que al hijo de mi sobrino le salió mucho acné también. Entonces, yo me recuerdo que le regalé unos jabones de azufre, después le regalé unas gel para ponérselos después del baño, y eso le empezó a liberar para que no se las apachara, porque pues él también tenía la costumbre de estarse apachando los cosos esos que salen horribles. Pero pues en mis tiempos, con tanta pobreza, Dios mío, con tanta pobreza, y diría que ay, pobrecita pata en el suelo, vale nada, no teníamos nada, no tenía acceso a absolutamente nada. Me hacía unas cosas horribles, me hacía así, y pues con un algodoncito con alcohol me lo sellaba, me ardía horrores, o me ponía pasta dental, y era horrible lo que hacía yo con mi piel. Pero bueno, obviamente, 1, la pobreza, 2, la ignorancia, 3, cualquier cosa que a mí me decían, mire que póngase esto, mire que póngase el otro, mire que póngase aquí, que póngase una hoja de no sé qué, que su mamá le compre una hoja de no sé qué en el mercado, y yo le decía, mamá, cómprame unas hojas que dice la vecina o que dice alguien, y ya, y me ponía la puta hoja. Y la verdad es que, pues no, los granos, esos granos del acné grandotes, porque no me importaban los puntos negros, esos que te apachas y sale la grasita, no, era la cosa blanca que salía, eran unos granos horribles, y todos se burlaban de mí, los putos volcanes que me salían blancos así, y se miraba blanco eso uno sobre el otro, era asqueroso. Entonces, olvídense. Sí. Yo le decía a mi mamá, sí, cómprame la puta hoja. La puta hojita que me dijo la vecina que funcionaba, y yo me lo compraba. porque yo no quería tener eso. ¿Quién quiere tener eso en la adolescencia? Siempre se los he comentado, adolescencia, inseguridades, tratando de encajar en la sociedad, tratando de tener amigos, tratando de organizarme en cuanto a la disforia, tratando de organizarme en cuanto a la orientación sexual, aceptando mi cuerpo, tenía que estudiar. Son muchas cosas las que pasamos los adolescentes y todos lo hemos pasado porque todos hemos sido adolescentes en algún momento. Pero sí fue cabrón. Ay, ¿qué me hicieron mi sombrero? ¿Qué me hicieron aquí está. Miren, me traje mi sombrerito yo para ponérmelo, ya saben ustedes, de bonita. Porque el sol ahorita pues no está tan fuerte, es el mediodía, el sol aquí más fuerte se da como a las 2 de la tarde. De 2 a 5 de la tarde, el sol es horrible, diría, es horrible. Es que era piel de volcanes. Ay, sí, te lo juro, mañana, era horrible. Era horrible, yo no quería salir de la casa, era horrible. Fue súper difícil. Yo creo que para todos los adolescentes, pero obviamente más para ciertos adolescentes, porque el adolescente hombre que se percibe como hombre y que le gustan las niñas, les vale madre eso. Para las niñas que son mujercitas y que les gustan los varones, bueno, las mujeres pues tienen otro tipo de situaciones. Pero imagínate tú, un adolescente nacido varón que no quería ser varón, que no se sentía varón, que no se percibía que no le gustaba su cuerpo de varón, que los cambios que se empezaron a dar no fueron los que él esperaba para ser mujer, sino para ser varón. La voz se me engrosó, me puse alto, las extremidades mías extremadamente largas por todos lados, me sentía deforme. Sentía que obviamente a mí no me gustaban las niñas, a mí me gustaban los niños. Pero aparte de eso, el cuerpo que tenía le correspondía a un varón, no a una niña, que era lo que yo quería hacer. Entonces, olvídate, era difícil, ¿no? Y que aparte de eso, pues obviamente a los hombres no nos importa. Sí, no, obvio que no, Javier, yo entiendo eso. Pero bueno, tener trastornos conlleva sacrificios. Tengas éxito. Gracias, mi amor, gracias. Sí, la verdad que sí. Aunque dicen hoy, no es que no es un trastorno. Sí tenemos un trastorno. Sí tenemos un trastorno porque obviamente no puede ser posible que tú rechaces tu cuerpo, que tu cuerpo está perfecto, ¿sí? A no ser que tenga alguna enfermedad, pero de lo contrario, el cuerpo de nosotros está perfecto, nuestros órganos están perfectos. Yo afortunadamente no decidí y nunca decidí quitarme mis genitales, pero ustedes saben que hay chicas que siguen a ese punto de quitarse los genitales y de quitarse cualquier otro órgano. Entonces, díganme ustedes si no hay un trastorno a la hora de quererse quitar ustedes una parte de su cuerpo que esté sana. Obviamente que hay un trastorno, pero como dicen que no, por conveniencia, ¿verdad? Pero bueno, mis amores, los quiero mucho, gracias por estar aquí conmigo. Creo que estuvo Rich acompañándome un ratito, o aquí estuvo. Gracias a todos ustedes por sus likes y por estar en el live, y me voy a conectar al ratito. Que llegue a la casa y me conecto y seguimos hablando, ¿ok? Bye, mis amores, gracias. Los amo, las amo, en serio. Yo hago esto porque para mejorar mi autoestima, pero realmente porque yo sé que ustedes me quieren y yo también, aunque no los conozco yo a ustedes personal y físicamente, pero se los aseguro que el día que yo los conozca voy a hacer la filita y le voy a dar un abrazo y un beso a cada una, a cada uno. Y si me la paso llorando porque yo soy así de sentimental, porque ustedes me apoyan enormemente y eso me hace tratar de ser mejor persona cada día y tratar de hacer mejores cosas para que el mundo sea mejor. Para que el mundo sea mejor. Ok, mis amores. Gracias, mi Rich. Nos vemos en un ratito. Bye. Ay, ¿qué estoy haciendo? Bye.